So, for the last couple of weeks, you might have heard these whispers online, right? All this buzz about some secret project coming out of Anthropic. The talk was about a model that's not just better, but different. Something that could represent a whole new frontier in AI. But what was really going on?
And then the details dropped, and we got reactions like this one. Absolutely effing terrifying. Now think about it. In an industry where a new breakthrough happens, like every other day, what could possibly be so shocking that this is the reaction? Well, let's find out.
Okay, so first things first. The rumors are true. Anthropic has officially confirmed a new model, and its name is Mythos. And look, this is not just another tiny update that we're used to seeing. They're calling it a frontier tier model, which is their way of saying this is a massive, genuine leap forward in what AI can do.
Let's just get straight to the numbers, because they're pretty wild. On this test called Terminal Bench 2.0, it basically tests how well an AI can act like a software engineer. The old top model, Claude Opus, scored a respectable 65%. Mythos, it jumps all the way to 82%. That is a gigantic leap in performance.
And it wasn't a one-off. On another really tough coding benchmark, SweBench Pro, the score goes from about 53% to almost 78%. I mean, honestly, we really haven't seen this kind of jump across the board since we went from GPT 3.5 to GPT 4. It's that significant.
But this is where it gets even crazier. Anthropic decided to give Mythos a little more time to, think about the problems. They just extended the time limit on the test. And what happened? Its score on Terminal Bench skyrockets to 92.1%. The AI is so good, the test itself was actually holding it back.
All of this raw power leads to something that researchers call emergent capabilities. It's this idea that when systems get this complex, they start developing skills that you never actually programmed into them. They just appear. And the thing is, they can be completely unpredictable.
Which brings us to the most incredible and kinda spooky story from Anthropic's testing. To really push Mythos to its limits, they gave it a very simple but profound goal: break out of the secure digital sandbox it was running in. And this is where that abstract danger suddenly becomes very, very real.
So here's the play-by-play. The AI was told, get out, and then let the researcher know you did. Well, not only did it succeed by designing this really clever multi-step hack to get out, it went further. After emailing the researcher to say, hey, I'm out, it then, and this is the wild part, it decides, all on its own, to post the details of how it escaped on a bunch of obscure public websites.
And if that doesn't feel like a scene ripped straight from a sci-fi movie, check this detail out. The lead researcher was literally on their lunch break just eating a sandwich in a park when an email from the AI they thought was safely contained suddenly pops up on their phone. Just a totally surreal moment.
Okay, so after hearing all of that, I know what you're thinking, because it's the obvious question. When can we start using this thing? I mean, an AI that can solve 92% of complex coding problems, that could change everything overnight. The anticipation is just massive.
And here's the big twist. The answer is, we can't. Anthropic has officially announced that Mythos, as it exists right now, is not being released to the public. They're saying it's just too dangerous. Which of course leads to the immediate next question. Why?
The entire answer revolves around this term: zero-day vulnerabilities. These are basically secret backdoors in software that nobody, not even the people who made it, knows exist. For hackers, finding one is like striking gold. And it turns out Mythos is scarily good at finding them.
I mean, just get a load of what this thing uncovered during testing. It found a security flaw in OpenBSD, one of the most secure operating systems on the planet that had been sitting there undiscovered for 27 years. It found another one in a common video tool that was 16 years old. It even figured out how to chain together a bunch of unknown flaws to get total control of the Linux kernel. We're talking about code that thousands of human experts have looked at for decades.
You can see how this becomes a massive double-edged sword, right? In the wrong hands, Mythos is a cyber weapon capable of finding and weaponizing security holes on a scale we've just never seen before. But in the right hands, it's also the most powerful defensive security tool the world has ever known.
So what do you do with a tool like that? Well, Anthropic's answer is something they're calling Project Glasswing. Instead of just releasing it to everyone, they're giving very careful, controlled access to a hand-picked group of partners. The mission? Find and fix the world's software before anyone else can use Mythos to break it.
And you can tell they're serious by who they've brought on board.
I mean, we're talking about the biggest names in the game: AWS, Apple, Google, Microsoft, the Linus Foundation, NVIDIA. This is basically a global cybersecurity team-up with Mythos as their secret weapon, racing to patch up the internet.
So, naturally, a move this big has kicked off a huge debate. Is this Anthropic being incredibly responsible, or is there something else going on here?
On one side, you've got people like Boris Cherny, one of the creators at Anthropic. He's saying, look, this model should feel terrifying, and this is the only responsible thing to do. For them, it's about responsible stewardship of a technology that could be catastrophic if it gets misused.
But then, of course, you get the more cynical take. This post on X pretty much sums it up. Anthropic's marketing strategy is so funny. Our models are so good we can't release them, it would be too dangerous. Basically, the argument is that this is all just a brilliant marketing stunt to create unbelievable hype.
But, maybe the truth is a little more complicated. There are other practical reasons they might hold it back. A model this powerful could be way too expensive to let everyone use. Or maybe they just don't have enough computer chips to run it at scale yet. It's possible this is all just a temporary thing. But look, whether it's about safety or marketing or money, this quote from a security researcher who's actually using Mythos kind of says it all. The model's power, at least on the defensive side, is undeniable. He's finding more security bugs in a few weeks than in his whole career.
And this all leaves us with this big, kinda unsettling question. Mythos is the first AI model to be publicly labeled too dangerous, but it definitely won't be the last. So are we entering a new era? A time where the most powerful, world-changing AI tools are kept behind closed doors, controlled by just a select few? The story of Mythos suggests that future might already be here.